Hi everyone, I am Liz and I am coming to you to talk to you about fear. I posted a video last week and there was people that really appreciated what I posted and it helped. So I've decided that I am going to do that more often because if there's one thing I know about, it is how to cope with fear and personal development and positive thinking. Um, and so I've decided I'm going to do the ABCs of personal development, and it might help some of you, it might help none of you, but if it helps even one of you, then I feel like I've contributed in some way. So this video is going to be on the little letter A, and I'm going to choose 3 words and I'm going to talk about those words in relation to fear, how to cope with it, and how to get through all of this. And I know that this might be more of a forum that you would expect in Facebook, but I was in corporate for 20 years and I believe that there is going to be a huge amount of professionals who are really struggling with the fear, but feel like they're in these positions where they have to be very brave. And so I want to give you some tools and strategies that I've learned along my 8 years of, being obsessed with trying to find a way to create a feeling of calm within. So the 3 words I'm going to discuss today are adversity, awareness, and attitude. So I'm going to start with adversity. So adversity is what happens to us. Things happen in our lives and we face adversity. So we can face adversity on a personal level or we can face adversity on a collective level. On a personal level, it'll be something that happens to you or your family, but it's just happening to you at that time, and maybe you don't know other people going through the same thing. So that could be things like health issues that are personal to you, financial issues, job issues, or relationship issues. There's all sorts of things that can happen to you personally that create adversity. And there's something you have to find within because the outside's not going like you want it to, like it should be, like you used to. Something's changed on the outside and it's created adversity. So you have to dig deep within to try and find a way to cope and get through that time. Then there's collective adversity, and that's what's happening right now. I also think individual adversity is happening right now too. It's actually, we're going through both. So collective adversity is when there's something that might happen in a community. It might happen in a state, a country, but in this instance, it's happening all over the world, which is why there's so much fear for people who haven't got strategies to cope with fear. And so at the moment, we're dealing with the collective adversity of we're part of the human race who is trying to cope with what's happening on a global level, and we're trying to help do the right thing on a global level. But on an individual level, we're all coping differently. Some people are actually in complete denial of it and think it's crap because they can't even get their heads around the fact that it could be happening, so they'd rather just like brush it off. Some people are completely overwhelmed with fear, even though nothing has happened to them individually, but their mind has gone into complete fear and the future of without knowing what the future is going to be. They've made up in their mind things that could be a worst case scenario, and they are just in fear. And then there's other people who, maybe like myself, who have done a lot of work internally and have been able to dig really deep and see through it and keep calm and use all the strategies that you've learned, all the books that you've read about fear and about awareness and about transformation. All those strategies come to the fore and you can call on those. So there's all different ways that people are coping. If you are in massive fear, it's likely that you are trying to hold on to the outside, trying to hold on to controlling the outside world so that you feel okay. So you're still really connected to the outside world. Whereas for me, I've been able to, don't get me wrong, I have still felt the fear, but I've been able to use these strategies to pull back and go within. And when you go within, you disconnect from being so, feeling like it's such a requirement that you need to have your outside in a specific way so that you can cope. And that's what adversity does. It creates a sense of, powerlessness. It creates a sense of fear. It creates a sense of basically your outside of you isn't doing what you're used to. So your inside is freaking out. And so what we have to do, and that leads me to the next word, which is awareness. What we have to do when we face adversity individually and collectively is actually dig deep. And you'll hear people like Eckhart Tolle talking about this. And I heard him talk last week about this, and it just made so much sense to me, and it gave me a real sense of peace. It's about digging deep and anchoring in to the within, rather than being completely connected from without. And he spoke about, have you built your house on sand, or have you built it on rock, on solid foundations? And if you built your house on sand, then your whole life is sort of about the external and making sure everything is running okay externally. And if you built it on rock, then you've actually anchored yourself in. And even though you might still love the external things and you don't want things to happen, you're able to pull back and breathe and create a positive mindset so that you can stay calm and really just, it's a sense of, it's a feeling of positivity, and it's about raising your awareness and bringing your awareness to the fore, and it's about staying conscious and present. And that's the hardest thing to do when you're in fear, is to stay present, because when you're in fear, you generally go out to what might happen in the future. But when you're present and you keep bringing yourself back to the present, you will be able to create a strong foundation. And breathe. So awareness is what you want to get to. You want to realize that if you are feeling massive fear, there is a journey and an opportunity here that you need to go on, because you haven't got strong enough foundations within that will see you through. So at some point, if you don't go in and you just allow the fear to go and go and go, you won't be able to cope. Your body and your mind will give out on you. So you have to realize that going in and digging deep will be forced on you. And that's what adversity does. It forces people to dig deep and expand and raise their conscious awareness and realize what's important in life, and realize that they are more than their status, their salary, their role, their whatever they were brought up in. Realize that they are more than that they are a strong human being who is able to cope with massive adversity like we're seeing right now. And then that leads me to attitude. So if you have a strong foundation, you can maintain a good attitude. Now, a good attitude, when you do personal development, you find out that attitude isn't just it's different than what you think attitude is. So attitude is the composite of your thoughts, your feelings, and your actions. And it's them together. And if you can have good thoughts, good feelings, and take good actions, you've got a great attitude. But if you have bad thoughts, you feel really bad all the time, and you know that your actions you're not taking the right actions to make yourself feel better, then there's work you have to do on your attitude, and it's your thoughts. And that's why I keep coming back to, how are you thinking about coronavirus? Because if you're in fear, you need to just take a step back and start to change your thoughts. And it's hard. So one strategy that you can use, there's a few I'll give you, but one strategy, as I've spoken about, is meditation. So meditating and just stopping and listening to your breath. Just listening to your breath and become consciously aware of the current moment. This is such a good way to create peace. And I know if you've got kids running around the house, and there's noise and all sorts of things, which I have as well, it's hard to do. But get up early, get up before them and do it. It will put you in such a better mindset for the day. Other things you can do is write a journal. You can get a journal. And I know maybe many of you, thousands of you, wouldn't have journaled for years or maybe ever. But if you can get your thoughts out on paper, it will help you feel better. And then if you can start writing positive thoughts, gratitude journal, writing about what you're really grateful for, what you've realized, is most important out of this, that can help. And then you can, I would highly recommend listening to positive thinking audiobooks, podcasts, YouTube. You can do 10 to 15 minute ones. You can do ones that are just positive affirmations going over and over in your ears. So that means you're listening to positive information, you're writing positive information through gratitude, and you're sitting quietly and peacefully and bringing up feelings of gratitude and feeling good. And so some of you, it will sound ridiculous and you'll think I'm crazy, but I've been doing this for a long time and it works. It settles you down. And so I'm just passing on my information, my practical information, and hoping that this will really help someone out there who is feeling extremely scared about what's happening at the moment. So that's my A's of personal development. You've just done lesson 1, or lesson A of personal development, and I'll do lesson B soon. Anyway, leave a message or a comment and tell me how you're feeling. I'll do whatever I can to help. I can give you strategies, and we can all do this together. Do a bit of personal development goes a long way. We can all do this together. Okay. Have a great afternoon. Bye.